Mahatma Gandhi is widely regarded as one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. He was born on October 2, 1869 in Porbandar, a coastal town in present-day Gujarat, India. Gandhi was a philosopher, a political leader, and a social reformer who led India to independence from British rule through non-violent civil disobedience. He is fondly remembered as the father of the nation in India, and has inspired millions of people around the world to strive for justice and equality. Early life and education. Gandhi was born into a Hindu family of the Vaishya caste. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was the Diwan or chief minister of Porbandar, while his mother, Putlabai, was a devout Hindu who instilled religious values in her children. Gandhi was the youngest of 4 children and was a shy, introverted child who did not excel academically. Gandhi's formal education began when he was 7 years old, and he was sent to a local school. However, he was not a diligent student and often skipped classes to play. When Gandhi was 13, he was married to Kasturba Mohanji, who was also 13 years old at the time. The marriage was arranged by their parents, which was a common practice in those days. In 1888, Gandhi moved to London to study law at the University College London. His parents hoped that he would become a successful lawyer and follow in his father's footsteps. However, Gandhi was more interested in social issues than in his studies. He joined the Theosophical Society, which introduced him to Eastern philosophy and spirituality. Gandhi was also exposed to the ideas of Henry David Thoreau, Leo Tolstoy, and John Ruskin, who would later influence his thinking. Gandhi returned to India in 1891 after completing his law degree. However, he struggled to establish himself as a lawyer, and his first case in India was unsuccessful. He then moved to South Africa in 1893 to work as a legal advisor for an Indian businessman. Civil rights activism in South Africa. Gandhi's experiences in South Africa were a turning point in his life. He was shocked by the discrimination and oppression faced by Indians in the country. Indians were subjected to a system of racial segregation known as apartheid and were treated as second-class citizens. Gandhi himself faced racism and was thrown off a train in Pietermaritzburg because he refused to move from the first-class compartment reserved for whites. Gandhi decided to fight against the injustices faced by Indians in South Africa. He founded the Natal Indian Congress in 1894, which became the leading organization for Indian civil rights in South Africa. Gandhi used nonviolent civil disobedience to challenge the discriminatory laws and practices of the South African government. He organized protests, boycotts, and strikes, and was frequently arrested and imprisoned. Gandhi's campaign for civil rights in South Africa was inspired by his belief in the power of truth and love. He believed that nonviolent resistance could bring about social change without resorting to violence. In his autobiography, The Story of My Experiments with Truth, Gandhi wrote about the transformative power of nonviolence. I have found that life persists in the midst of destruction. Therefore there must be a higher law than the law of destruction. This nonviolence is the law of the human race and is infinitely greater than the brute force of arms. Gandhi's nonviolent activism in South Africa had a profound impact on the world. It inspired other civil rights leaders, such as Martin Luther King Jr., who adopted Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance in their own struggles for justice. Return to India. In 1915, Gandhi returned to India, where he became a leader of the Indian National Congress, which was fighting for Indian independence from British rule. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence and civil disobedience had a significant impact on the Indian independence movement, and he became known as Mahatma, which means great soul. Gandhi's political activism in India was marked by several important campaigns. In 1919, he organized a nationwide strike against the Rowlatt Act, which allowed the British government to imprison anyone without trial. The strike led to violent clashes between Indian protesters and British troops, and hundreds of Indians were killed. The massacre, known as the Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, galvanized Indian opposition to British rule and increased support for Gandhi's non-violent resistance. In 1930, Gandhi organized the Salt March, which was a non-violent protest against the British monopoly on salt production. The march started from Gandhi's ashram in Sabarmati and ended in Dandi, where Gandhi and his followers made their own salt by evaporating seawater. The Salt March drew international attention to the Indian independence movement and put pressure on the British government to negotiate with Indian leaders. Gandhi's non-violent resistance and civil disobedience were not always successful, and he was frequently arrested and imprisoned by the British government. However, his campaigns inspired millions of Indians to join the struggle for independence, and his philosophy of non-violence has had a lasting impact on the world. Legacy. Gandhi's legacy is profound, and he is revered not only in India but around the world. He inspired civil rights leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela, who both drew on Gandhi's philosophy of non-violence in their own struggles for justice. Gandhi's influence can also be seen in the work of the Dalai Lama, who has called Gandhi his spiritual mentor. Gandhi's philosophy of non-violence and civil disobedience has had a significant impact on the world. It has inspired countless social movements, from the American Civil Rights Movement to the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa. Gandhi's teachings on peace and justice continue to resonate with people around the world who are working for a more just and equitable society. Gandhi's life and work are also celebrated in India through various institutions and monuments. The Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat, where Gandhi lived and worked for several years, has become a pilgrimage site for those who wish to pay homage to the Mahatma. The Raj Ghat in Delhi, where Gandhi was cremated after his assassination, is also a significant memorial to his life and work. Conclusion? Mahatma Gandhi was a remarkable individual who dedicated his life to the pursuit of justice and equality. His philosophy of non-violence and civil disobedience has had a profound impact on the world and inspired countless social movements. Gandhi's legacy continues to resonate with people around the world who are working for a more just and equitable society. Gandhi's teachings on peace and justice are as relevant today as they were during his lifetime, and his life serves as a reminder of the power of individual action to bring about meaningful change in the world. Gandhi's life and work also serve as a reminder of the importance of personal integrity and commitment to one's principles. Despite facing immense opposition and persecution, Gandhi remained true to his beliefs and never compromised on his principles of non-violence and civil disobedience. He lived a simple life, and his personal example of simplicity and selflessness inspired millions of people around the world. Gandhi's impact on India and the world is immeasurable. His leadership and philosophy were instrumental in India's struggle for independence from British rule, and his teachings on non-violence and civil disobedience continue to inspire people around the world who are fighting for justice and equality. Gandhi's vision of a just and equitable society, based on principles of non-violence, is as relevant today as it was during his lifetime, and his legacy serves as a source of inspiration for future generations. However, Gandhi's legacy is not without controversy. Some have criticized his views on race and his approach to issues such as caste and gender equality. Gandhi himself acknowledged his own imperfections and flaws, and his legacy should be seen as a reflection of his commitment to the pursuit of justice and equality, rather than a perfect embodiment of those principles. In conclusion, Mahatma Gandhi was a transformative figure who dedicated his life to the pursuit of justice and equality. His philosophy of non-violence and civil disobedience has had a profound impact on the world and inspired countless social movements. Gandhi's life and work are a testament to the power of individual action to bring about meaningful change in the world. Gandhi's legacy continues to inspire people around the world who are working for a more just and equitable society, and his teachings on peace and justice will continue to resonate for generations to come.